Hello everyone. I'm sitting here on the floor with a big bath towel and a bowl of water, and I'm getting ready to just try to clean up my cuticles a little bit. I was doing some things outside and didn't put my gloves on, and consequently my hands are a bit of a mess. So I'm going to soften them up a little bit. I've got just plain Castile soap, which I will liberally put on my fingernails and fingertips, and then I'm just going to soak them for a little while in some very warm water. And I thought maybe we could chat for a minute while I do this. Won't be too long, just maybe 5-10 minutes. One reason I'm doing this is because tomorrow morning, early, I'm taking my mother to see a doctor, and I want to be presentable for that. Not looking like I've been working in a mechanic shop or something of that kind. Not putting down mechanics, God knows we need them, but often their manicures are not the best. At any rate, because of the work they do, of course. And I find that if I'm not careful, my skin is very dry, so I will get fingernails that aren't very happy looking. But this business of being a caregiver, as I'm sure some of you know, then you have to go to all the appointments and get her to the appointments on time and things like that. And this one is about 70 miles away, and we have to be there at 9:45, so we'll have to leave here plenty early in the morning. And I've got something ready to take for her to eat, because that's earlier than she normally eats breakfast. So you have to think, as you other fellow caregivers all are aware, I'm sure, it's kind of like little children. You have to think of all these things and pack them and take them along. You know, pack her oxygen tank and her food supply and her water and everything of that sort. And we'll see what we find out from this specialist. I don't know. It's going to be a kind of dicey meeting, I think, and she does not want to do it, but it's really very, very necessary. So we finally talked her into it, and we were fortunate in having a cancellation that we were able to take for early tomorrow morning. So that's part of why I'm doing this. And you know, I'm doing it too because do you ever realize or become aware that when you're dealing with a doctor or a lawyer or your financial advisor or anybody in a professional field or non-professional field, there's just a different way the meeting goes depending upon your grooming and presentation. So given that, I just kind of wanted to clean my hands up a little bit, and I've got a cuticle, or a nail brush rather, right here, which I'll use now that I've softened them in this water a little bit, and then I'll start working with each one here. But yes, there's just a little different attitude. So sometimes, you know, even for things from my mother, it's not an appointment for myself, but I'll take her and I'll actually dress up and prepare for the meeting, and I think that's not a bad idea. Take the time to do it. So here we go, pushing cuticles back with a little cuticle board here. This won't be perfect. I could use a sort of bleach on them, but I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to do the best I can with this in a rather short amount of time. My nails grow quite well. They're long and they're strong, but when you deal with outdoor things, whether it's gardening or anything with the animals, my beloved little alpaca herd, and every day I feed them some chopped alfalfa and timothy hay on top of their regular grain portion, and that has a lot of fine, like dark green, well, it looks like dark green dust, but it's really chopped alfalfa, and that somehow finds its way under your nails and under your cuticles, and I don't know how it does it, but so you end up looking rather unkempt. But soaking even for a short amount of time in a very warm water at least softens the cuticles, and I'll just do a little more with this, and then dry my hands and put some cuticle oil on them, and for now we'll call that good. I just don't have time to go to a manicurist today, and you know, I seldom do that because with what I do, it just does not last. So I find this way at least I can be groomed and presentable. I'm going to just dry these fingernails. And I have some cuticle oil here, which I will paint on each one. This only takes a minute, and that will help as well. And then I'll do a little more with them after this oil has had a chance to soak in, but I'll probably get up off the floor here. I love sitting on the floor. I don't know if you do, but sitting cross-legged on the floor is just my favorite relaxing position. On the floor or on the couch or anywhere, I love to sit cross-legged. Too bad I can't do it when I am visiting people. I have to sit in the traditional Western style, but it's probably from all the years of sitting that way in meditation that I wrote most of my doctoral dissertation sitting this way too, because in those days, you know, we didn't even have the computers, so I had my notebooks and everything spread out around me, but I was usually sitting like this, and often on the floor, because you can't drop things off the floor, and there's plenty of room to spread out all your notes and materials and things you were considering. Sometimes I'd put a little typewriter there, or sometimes just my notebooks. Anyway, so there we have it for this. I'm going to turn this film off and let that cuticle oil soak in, and be a little bit further in getting ready for tomorrow. And this evening when I go out, I will certainly wear my gloves. Hope to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.